guys, just here talking about The Bachelor, the most dramatic season finale ever. They kept on advertising, most emotional. Yeah, which it, oh my god, it was crazy. Yeah, well, they were right when they said you're not going to be able to know what's going to happen because it's so unexpected. And boy, was it. I've been on a journey, guys. It's been crazy the last couple hours. So first off, in the very beginning, Peter calls Hannah Ann's dad and asks for his permission to propose to her, and he says yes. And then it pans over to Hannah Ann, and she's all worried and like thinking that she might not go because she feels like Peter's heart is torn in two and she doesn't know what to do anymore. Peter, so Chris Harrison tells Peter that she might not come, and Peter's like, oh my gosh, I might pass out. Like, he's just like feeling so bad about it. And then after the commercial break, they come back and they say, oh, Hannah Ann's coming, oh my gosh, like all this stuff. And so it shows Peter getting ready to like propose to her and whatever. And so Hannah Ann pulls up in the car, she talks to Chris Harrison for a little bit, and then she starts walking down the pathway, and she's having the hardest time in her heels. Like, she's like falling over and all this stuff. And she like even mentions it once when she gets to Peter. He's like, how are you doing? She's like, I'm just trying to get over to you. That walk was pretty difficult. And it was really funny. And then he gets down on one knee and proposes to her, asks her to marry him, and she says, I quote, so you want me? Oh my god. And she's freaking out, and her jaw is like dropped, like, really this is happening? Like, she was freaking out. So freaking out. He tells his family about that he picked Hannah Ann, and they flipped out, like so excited. Like, his mom started crying again, like ugly crying like she does, you know. And then they go back to the live theater, and it's Peter's there and Chris Harrison, and they're talking, and then they go to this scene where Peter and Hannah Ann are hanging out, and Peter basically tells Hannah Ann that his heart isn't with her. He says, kills me to put you through this, that his heart is split in two, and she asks him, can you give me 50-50? I need to be struggling, and you need to be struggling to like get to the point that we need to be at to where we can get through this and all this stuff. And he is like, I can't give you, he says, I can't get there, and that he can't give his whole heart to her. And he says he's trying to be honest with himself, and Hannah Ann is pissed. She's so pissed. She like hands him the ring, and she like puts it in his hand and like closes his hand and like shoves it away. It's like, I can't even look at your face anymore. Like, kind of crap. But she like has like such a calm way of saying it. She's not like screaming at him. She's just like calmly saying it, you know? Anyway, so she gets into the car, and he's like trying to say something to her, and she's like, leave, and she like puts her hand out like that, and so he leaves, and she goes, and then I wrote down, he's a conflicted man, exclamation, because he's so conflicted, he doesn't know what the frick he wants. And she said so they come back to the live show, and Hannah Ann's on the stage with Peter, and she's like, I was totally blindsided by Madison leaving on her own. She didn't realize that until she saw the show. She didn't know the full extent of it. And then at the end of it, she says, you need to become a real man, or something like that. And I was like, ooh, burn. That was a good one. It was a little brutal, but okay. Anyway, so Chris Harrison went to see Madison, He went to her home, and he asked her a couple questions, and she says she would have done things differently if she had the chance. And then she is saying she gets a second chance because they're gonna go to LA and they're gonna see him. And so they go there, and so they pan back to the live show, and Chris Harrison asks Peter, "Are you in love with Madison?" And he says, "Yeah." That was his answer. And then Maddie comes on the show, and they talk for a while, and they don't really give an answer on whether or not they're gonna date or be engaged or whatever. It ends with just dating, I guess. Like, they said they both need healing after the show because they both got hurt a lot. Okay, and then they pan to the family, and his mom is so pissed. And Chris Harrison asked her some questions, and she's like, "Yeah, Madison is just not right for my son." Like, very blunt, brutal comments, and the whole audience is like, "Boo, boo," freaking out. And then the family, like, still, like, they go through all the family members, and they're all like, "Yeah, it's just not gonna work. It's never gonna work with them." And all of his friends know it. All of us know it. Everyone who's close to him knows that they're not gonna be able to get through the big roadblocks, the religion, the, like, not being able to both make compromises and all this stuff. Anyway, family hates her, so that's that. End of season.